Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Enough? Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, President Lum Edwards of the Pine Ridge School Board has decided to solve the problem of a school teacher for the coming year by taking the job himself. Of course, he says this is just a temporary measure, and the board can hire a teacher when they find one. That is, when they can find one who's good enough to succeed so learned a man as President Edwards. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is just entering. Listen.
Well, howdy, Lum. Where about you been all morning?
Over at the schoolhouse.
Oh,
Been over there looking things over. Remind me to take my rocking chair over there sometime, Abner.
your rocking chair.
Yeah, that chair they got for the teacher to sit in is the most uncomfort thing I ever seen.
Well...
Granny's, I couldn't sit there for over 10 minutes at a time.
Well, here, wait a minute. Are you still figuring on taking that school teaching job, Lum?
Well, it looks like I'll have to. We got to hold a meeting tonight to vote on the new teacher, and we ain't got no applications for the job except me.
Well, can't you wait till you get some?
No, I can't wait no longer. School starts next week.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to.
The bylaw says we're supposed to have somebody hired at least a week before school opens.
Oh, they do, huh?
Yeah, and we're over that time now.
Yeah.
So I reckon I'll just have to take the job.
Well, do the other members of the board, they know that you're aiming on doing this?
Well, no, not exactly. The fact is, they don't know nothing about it.
Huh?
I'm sort of figuring on surprising them.
Yeah, well, I reckon they'll be surprised, all right. And so will you when they come to do the voting.
Well, they got to vote for somebody. If I'm the only one they is to vote for, well, figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Any mail come this morning?
Oh, yeah, there was a postcard telling us we ought to stock up on yummy Superman coconut candy bars because they're going to stop making them after the first, they said.
Good. And that'll give us a chance to catch up and sell all them coconut bars we've already got in stock.
Yeah, and there's a letter for you, too, believe it. Reckon it's something about school business because it's addressed to President Edwards.
President Edwards?
Yeah, that's what it says.
That sounds good again.
Yeah, there it is, right there on the counter there.
Oh, yeah. More likely somebody congratulating me on getting elected again.
Yeah, Ms. Bates called up wanting to know when the next sugar stamp was due, too, Long.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up for her.
Yeah, you ought to sometime.
Dear President Edwards, I would like to submit my application for teacher of the Pine Ridge... Oh.
Well, here, what are you tearing that up for, Long?
Oh, it ain't nothing important.
Didn't you say something there about an application for the teaching job?
Oh, yeah, I believe it did say something about that. It's a mistake, though.
Mistake? Well, how could it be?
Oh, I don't know. It was sent to the wrong party, I believe.
It was addressed to you, weren't it?
Yeah.
And you're looking for a teacher, ain't you?
Yeah, Abner,
And you need one to vote on tonight, don't you?
Listen, Abner, this woman wouldn't be no good for the job.
Well, how do you know she wouldn't? You ain't even finished reading her letter yet.
Well, after you've been president of the school board for as many years as I have, you get so you can tell them things. Just sort of comes natural to you.
Does, huh?
Yeah. I could tell by the way she wrote President Edwards. Anybody would know that it's supposed to be President L. Edwards.
Well, it just looks to me like you don't want nobody but yourself to vote on tonight at that meeting.
Listen, Abner, I know what I'm doing.
Oh.
After you've been president of the school board for as many years... Who's that coming up out there?
Huh?
Oh, Cedric.
I still think you ought to read the rest of that letter, though, Lum. They wrote to you and wanted the job.
Wonderful world.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric.
Hello, Cedric.
What can we do for you today?
Oh, nothing. Mousey just wanted me to give you this bunch of papers here. It's important stuff, he says.
Important stuff. What about?
Well, I ain't for sure, but I think it's got something to do with him getting a school teaching job this year.
School teacher? Mousey Gray?
Yes, Mom. He said if I'd help him get the job, he'd see that I got past the 3rd grade. Boy.
Well, law me, Mousey can't be no teacher. That'd be worse than having Lum, even.
Just a minute, Cedric. Whereabouts did Mousey ever get a idea like this in the first place?
Oh, I don't know. He says he's done some teaching up in Iowa summers.
He has?
Yes, Mom. I think it tells all about it in them papers there. He says he done a whole bunch of teaching.
Well, I do know. Doggies long, let's read them papers and see what they say there.
No, we ain't got time to waste our time reading no such nonsense as that.
Well, I'd just love to know whereabouts he taught at.
He says teaching school is just like a mother to him. Don't know what he meant by it, though.
Well, he don't neither.
Here, Cedric, let me have them papers. I'm just curious to know what's in them. Let me look at them.
Miss Moore, here.
Yeah.
I sure will be glad to get past the 3rd grade. Sometimes I sort of get self-unconscientious about that.
Official teaching credits of Professor Llewellyn Snavely Gray.
Professor?
What it says.
Granny's, if that ain't disgusting.
Teacher of woodcraft and pathfinding at Camp Kitchigumi on Lake Okiboji, 2 summers.
Kind of like baby talk.
Teacher of how to tie different knots for Friendly Ranger Boys Club of Southeast Dubuque, Iowa, 1 summer.
Granny's, we don't want nobody to teach them things at our school.
Assistant instructor at the Daughters of the Midwest Agricultural Pioneers Annual Cooking School, 1 day.
This ain't no cooking school.
Substitute teacher for Mr. J.L. Gillespie Sunday school class on account of Mr. Gillespie had the mumps for 2 Sundays.
Just a minute, Abner. Excuse me for interrupting you. I think that's our ring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty good stuff, that Mousey.
Hello, jot 'em down, store and library. President Eddard's talking.
I never knowed he was a teacher.
Yeah, the meeting's tonight, Uncle Henry. Huh? Llewellyn Snavely Gray. Oh, no, Uncle Henry. Yeah, he sent that to me, too, but... Yeah, but Uncle Henry... Well, all right, you got a right to vote on him if you want to, I reckon. Yeah, well, we'll see you tonight, then. Goodbye.
Mousey been talking to Uncle Henry Lunsford?
Yeah, and he fell for it, too. That Uncle Henry, he's got no business being on the school board in the first place. He's a disgrace to it.
Well...
Leastways, he'll be the only one voting for Mousey, though.
Yeah, more likely. Assistant instructor of handball at Dubuque YMCA for junior boys classes every Saturday morning for 3 straight weeks.
Abner, don't read no more of that prattle-prattle.
Oh, well, it's interesting.
Wait a minute. That's our ring again. More than likely, it's Mousey's himself.
I never knowed he was a teacher.
Hello, jot 'em down, store. President Eddard's talking.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, just tolerably, Squire. How's yourself? You want to recommend who? But, Squire, Mousey ain't no teacher.
Uh-oh, he's getting around.
Well, I don't care if we can get him cheap. We got to think about the youngin's Well, yeah. Do as you like, Squire, but... Well, all right. Goodbye.
Mousey talked to Squire, too, huh?
And Squire thinks we ought to hire him because he'll work for less.
Well, what's that to Squire? He don't pay the teachers out of his own pocket.
No, but he's the treasury.
Oh?
And he's more likely figures he can work it so he can get some of the money we save on Mousey.
There's a scheme in this one feller I ever knowed.
Read some more of that stuff, Mr. Abner. I like to hear that.
Oh, yeah, see where was. Oh, yeah. Head instructor of how to ride with no hands on handlebars for the Young Men Saturday Afternoon Bicycle Group. Teacher of bird lore and bird calls for campfire girls at Lake Okiboji.
Hush up, Abner. Can't you hear the phone?
Oh, I'm interested here. I never paid
Hello, jot 'em down, store. President Eddard's talking.
He's talking right now everything but school. That man.
No, I ain't found a teacher yet, Esri. Who? Oh, no, Esri, not him. Well, I'll tell you who else we can get. I'm going to put myself up for the job.
Uh-oh.
Why can't I? Oh, well, wait a minute. I bounds you, Mousey ain't got no teaching certificate neither. Well, I'll talk to you about it tonight, Ezra. Yeah, all right. Goodbye.
For the land sakes, Mousey's talked to Ezra Seastrunk, too, huh?
No, his woman, Gussie, has.
Oh.
And that's worse, 'cause Gussie and Miss Seastrunk's relates of some kind.
No, doggy, that's right, ain't it? Well, it looks like that Mousey's a cinch to get the job in, Lum.
He's going to see that I get past the 3rd grade, did I tell you?
Yeah, be quiet, Cedric. It's a serious business here.
Granny, there ought to be some way to keep him out of that job. He'll ruin the whole education system of Pine Ridge.
Well, maybe you just ought to call him up and have a talk with him about it, Lum.
What can I say to him, though? You can't talk Mousey out of nothing.
Well, just tell him you already hired somebody else.
Well, you find out that we ain't, though. Or wait a minute. I believe I got an idea. Whereabouts is that letter?
What letter?
The one I tore up a minute ago, that application.
Oh.
Put the pieces back together and get the woman's name, Abner.
The woman's name?
Yeah, I'll get Mousey on the phone and tell him that's who we've hired.
Oh, yeah.
Then he'll have to withdraw his application, and the board will have to vote for this woman.
Doggies, Lum, you're a genius when it comes to studying up ideas.
Hurry up and put the letter back together.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
I threw it in the wastebasket, I believe.
know, I'm getting it right here.
I'll get Mousey right away.
Sure be glad to get past the third grade. I never did much like it there. I'd just get acquainted with the kids, and then they'd all move on to the next grade, and I'd have to get acquainted with a new bunch. Same thing every year.
Hey, Shep Cedric. Wait a minute. Hello? Is Mousey there? Oh, I never recognized your voice. This is Lum, and Huh? Yeah, I got your list of credits, but they come too late, Mousey. We've already hired somebody else. Oh, some woman by the name of, just a minute. Have you got it yet, Abner?
No, Chet, I can't find a piece with her name on it.
Well, hurry up. She's a well-known woman, Mousey, a famous teacher. She's taught in some awful big schools. Huh? Well, her name is... Have you found it yet, Abner?
No, I ain't yet, Lum.
Is this the piece you're looking for, Mr. Abner?
No, that ain't the... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's it, right there, see.
Good, yeah. What's her name?
It's, oh, that paper's kind of tore up, wrinkled there. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Her name is Lou Ellen Snavely Gray.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, it looks as though the Pine Ridge Grammar School is quite likely to have Llewellyn Snavely Gray for its teacher, in spite of the effort of the school board's new president, L. Edwards, to prevent it. The board met late last night to vote on Mousey's application, and as we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library, anxiously waiting to hear the results of that meeting. He hasn't long to wait because Lum is just now entering the store. Listen.
Yeah. Morning, Lum.
Morning, Abner.
You feeling as good as you want to this morning?
Oh, I reckon so.
How'd your school board meeting come out last night?
Oh, I don't know. Good minds to resign.
Resign?
Yeah. Let me sit down here.
What's cat?
Oh, get out of there, Geraldine.
Oh, you might not got her that time.
Ain't done war to a frazzle.
Well,
War to a frazzle.
well, do you mean that you're going to resign after you work so hard to get yourself elected president, Lum?
Well, I can't get no cooperations from the board.
Oh.
Looks like they're against me all the time. Might just as well not be president.
You mean 'cause they voted to hire Mousey Gray for teacher this year?
They never hired Mousey.
They never?
No, sir.
Well, I thought he was the only one there was to vote on.
He was, but it turned out he didn't have a teaching certificate after all. What he had was a birth certificate.
Birth certificate? Well, do you have to have a certificate for that now?
I reckon so.
Well, you ought to be glad now that Mousey ain't going to be the teacher, Lum.
Yeah, I am glad about that. But now they got an idea that's just as bad.
They have, huh?
Yeah, Ezra says he knows of a man teacher at Hot Springs he thinks we can get.
Man, huh?
Yeah, he sent him a telegram last night and told him to wire back today so we can vote on him tonight.
Oh, you're going to hold another meeting tonight, huh?
Yeah, we have to. School's supposed to open next week.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what's wrong with Ezra's idea?
Why, we don't want no man teacher.
We don't, huh?
Of course not. Men don't make no good teachers.
Well, the other day you was aiming on taking the job yourself, Lum.
Huh? Oh, well, that's different, yeah.
What's different about it?
Abner, don't ask so many silly questions.
Oh.
Can't you see I'm all upset in you?
I know, excuse me, I'm sorry, never am.
I can see right through Ezra's little scheme, all right.
You can, huh?
Well, last year when he was president of the board, we had Miss Fredericks for teacher.
Yeah.
And he got to see her all the time. But now that I'm president, he wants a man teacher. I think I'll resign myself.
Well, how do the other board members feel about it, Lum?
Oh, they're for it, too.
There, huh?
Well, Uncle Henry will say yes to anything Ezra suggests, whether he knows what it is or not.
Yeah.
And, of course, Sister Simpson's awful anxious to have a man teacher.
Oh, natural. Yeah, sure.
She'll set her cap for him.
Oh, yeah, she'll be sparking at him.
Get out a pencil and paper for me, Abner. Gonna write out my resignation right now.
Well, now, are you sure you want to do this, Lum?
Of course I do. I've made up my mind now. No use me trying to battle against them narrow-minded bunch of ignoramuses. Hurry up. Get some paper there.
Well, all right. I still think you ought to think this over for a while.
I've done thought it over. If they want to ruin our school and keep our young from being learned anything, let them go ahead and do it. Done all I could.
Will this paper here be all right? It's blank on one side.
No, get a piece that's blank on both sides. I want to do this up right.
Yeah, well, here's one. Got a little stuff on it there.
Oh, that's a grocery order. Don't use
I can
that.
rub it out there.
Well, we got to put up that order, though.
Oh, all right. I'll find another piece here.
What's the matter with this?
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right, I reckon.
Yeah. Let's see. Sit down and start writing. I'll dictate it to you.
Want me to do the writing?
Yeah.
All right.
To the members of the school board, who it may concern.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Nearly all the importance papers start out that way, though.
No.
You got that down?
Just about. School board, who it may concern. Yeah.
I, L. Edwards, hereby and herewith submit my resignation as president.
Not so fast. I can't write that.
Well,
quick.
hurry up. Granny's this'll show them flat-headed, short-sighted varmints what I think of them. You got that down yet?
Just about. Now, I hereby and herewith submit my resignation as a flat-headed varmint.
No, wait a minute.
Huh?
That's supposed to be... Uh-oh, here comes Cedric. Put it up.
Yeah.
Wonderful world.
Well, howdy, Cedric. Come on in.
We're awful busy right now, Cedric. Well, I just come over to give you this letter, Mr. Lum.
What is it? Something from Mousey again?
No, Mom, this is from Mr. Ezra Seastrong.
Ezra?
Yes, Mom. And he wanted me to ask you, Mr. Lum, if you could go to the county seat Monday and meet the new teacher. Oh, he wants me to do that, huh? Yes, Mom. He said if you couldn't make it, well, he'd do it himself. Well, you just go back and tell Ezra that he can go and meet all the teachers he wants to, because I ain't going to have nothing to do with it. Yes, Mom. Tell him he can go clean to Africa and meet him if he wants to. Yes, Mom, I'll tell him. Wait a minute, though. I'll give you something to take back to him. Have you got that resignation wrote up yet, Abner?
Well, no, you ain't told me what else to write down here.
Here, I'd better do it.
Yeah, take it, do it.
You never would make a stenographer, I can see that.
I ain't trying to. I don't want to be one of them.
Give me the paper.
All right, there, take it. Don't be so fidgety.
Yes, see.
Such a disposition.
Is it so about Mr. Mousey ain't going to be the teacher this year after all?
No, he ain't, Cedric. Never had the right kind of a certificate.
Doggone it anyway. Looks like I never will get past the third grade.
Well, I believe you're more used to it there anyway, Cedric. You've been in that room so long now.
Well, I want to get out of there, though.
Yeah.
Reckon if I went to college for a while and learned some stuff there, then do you reckon I could come back to Pine Ridge and graduate from the third grade all right?
I don't know. Sounds like a pretty good idea, though, Cedric.
How do you spell nincompoop?
N-I-N-K-U... I don't believe I'm sure how that's spelled, on.
Well, I'll change it to something else. Idiot.
You about through with it?
Just about.
I still think you oughtn't to do it, Lum.
Mr. Abner, what do you think would be a good college for me to go to?
Oh, I don't know, Cedric. I don't know them colleges. I've heard of some of them. Vassar, I've heard of.
That sounds pretty good.
Harvard's a good college, I think.
Harvard?
Yeah, Squire Skimp claims he went there once.
Whereabouts is that located at?
I don't know. I reckon it's in Missouri there, Summers. That's where Squire used to live.
Let's see. Where's that other net, that Vassar business?
I don't know, Cedric. Don't know where it is. I just heard little Pearl talking about it the other night.
Here, this is finished. Here, Cedric, you take this and give it to Ezra. Yes, Mom. With my compliments. Mom? Well, just skip that. Just hand it to him and tell him to go and meet the teacher himself. Yes, Mom, I'll tell him. I'll go right now.
Yeah, well, so long, Cedric.
So long, Mr. Abner. I'll stop in and say goodbye before I leave for Harvard.
Yeah, do that, Cedric.
Harvard? What's he talking about?
Oh, he Said he might go there and try to learn enough to help him come back here and pass the third reader.
For goodness sakes, he can't do that.
He can't, huh? Ain't Harvard a good enough school to learn him at?
No, it ain't that, but you can't go to college till after you graduated from high school.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And from the way the Pine Ridge school system is falling to pieces, I doubt if any of our young'uns will ever learn enough to graduate from high school. Or third grade in either one.
Huh?
Just twixt me and you, Abner, I'm glad I'm out of this thing now.
Yeah, huh?
You bet I am. Never wanted to be president in the first place.
Well, what'd you make all them speeches about yourself for then, Lum? Cast all them favors at yourself.
Well, I was just doing that for the good of the community.
Good of the community.
Of course I was.
You mean it was good for us to get you elected president of the board?
Why, sure it was.
Well, I never knowed that.
Well, I stand on my record as when I was president before.
Yeah, you was president, all right.
Done some mighty nice things for the school. Got some new racers, new blackboards, patched up the roof,
Yeah.
fixed them front steps.
Lum, you never fixed them steps now.
Well, I had it done.
Well-
I was president at the time it was fixed.
Yeah, you was president. You was president for 8 years, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good record, I guess.
Guess they don't appreciate what I'm trying to do for them.
No.
Sacrifice on my part. I was willing to give my time and talents to see that our young'uns get good schooling. But I can see now that my efforts weren't appreciated. I'm glad I'm out of it. Man teacher. Never heard anything like that before.
Well, what was that letter that Ezra sent over, Lum?
Oh, it was just that teacher's application.
Oh.
Never bothered to read it. I reckon I ought to send it back to Ezra.
Yeah, well, let's read it, Lum. He might be a good teacher for us after all.
How could he be? Takes a woman to learn young.
Well, let me take a look at that. I'm sort of curious to see what kind of a feller we're going to have this year.
Don't bother. He won't last long. I can tell you that right now. I'll find some way to get him out of there.
Well, I do know. Says here that he's got greenish blue eyes and auburn hair, Lum.
I hate and despise Auburn hair.
And he taught school in Oklahoma and Kansas.
Red-headed teacher. Who cares? I ain't got nothing to do with it no longer.
But here's a note from Ezra. Did you read that, Lum?
No, and what's more, I don't want to read it.
Says, Dear Lum, I received this application this morning, and it looks pretty good to me. Squire Skimp was in my office this morning, and he looked it over, and he agrees with me.
Well, that's nice of them fellers. Agreeing with themselves behind my back.
I think we should vote for this application at the meeting tonight, inasmuch as I wasn't able to get the man I mentioned last night.
Huh? What's that? He wasn't able to get the man.
I am sure that Marion Sloane will make us a good teacher.
Marion?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Huh?
Abner, run out and catch Cedric before he gets over to Ezra's. Get that resignation away from him.
Well, ain't you going to resign after all, Lum?
Of course not.
Huh?
When L. Leonard's elected to office, he always does his duty no matter how painful it is. They elected me president, and I'll do the job for him if it kills me. Hurry up, Abner.
Well, all right.
Granny's over.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's down in Pine Ridge. Well, the Pine Ridge Grammar School has finally hired a teacher, one Marion Sloane. And today we find that L. Edwards, president of the school board, accompanied by Messrs. Abner Peabody and Cedric Wehunt, have gone to the county seat to meet the new teacher. As we look in on the railroad station at the county seat, we see Abner and Cedric standing near a weighing machine. Lum, who has been talking to the ticket agent, is approaching them. Listen.
Well, train will be here pretty soon. The ticket agent says it's running ahead of schedule today.
Ahead of schedule?
Yeah, he says it's just 5 or 10 minutes late.
Oh.
Now, don't forget what I want you fellows to do when Miss Sloane gets here.
Huh?
Cedric, you act like you're my chauffeur, and Abner, you be the feller that handles her baggage.
Well, now, Lum, I don't want to tote them heavy valises all
Abner, you promised you'd do that if I'd let you come along.
All right.
How do I look? Do I look all right?
Well, sure, you look all right. What's the matter? Don't you feel good?
Of course I feel good. It's just that I want to look never mind. You wouldn't understand such things.
What thing?
Oh, nothing. Granny's, I wish that train hurry up and get here. Auburn hair, hot dog. Say, Mr. Abner, you got a penny? I want to weigh myself on that machine.
A penny? Now, don't waste your money, Cedric. You can weigh yourself for nothing when we get back to Pine Ridge. Use them scales we got back there in the feed room. Won't charge you a cent for it.
Yes, Mom, but this in here tells your fortune, too.
Tells your fortune?
Yes, Mom.
It does. Well, doggos, I believe I'll try that myself. And see, I believe I got a penny or two here somewhere.
Now, don't go believing that fortune-telling nonsense. Well, this ain't nonsense, Mr. Lum. It's all true stuff. I've done it before.
Here you are, Cedric. Now what do you do?
Well, I just stand on here and drop the penny in this little slot.
Oh.
Sort of like playing the pinball machine.
Well, you ought to be good at that then, Cedric.
Here it comes.
There, what comes?
The fortune.
Oh.
See, it's wrote on this little card that dropped down here.
Well, I do know. Doggy, somebody must have did some awful fast writing in there. You know what? I'll say that for 'em.
192 pounds.
Well?
And here's my fortune. You possess tremendous energy and keen insight. You will soon be promoted to a high position.
For the land sake.
Good for me.
Did you hear that, Lum? Cedric's going to get a high position.
Yeah, I heard it. But you can't believe none of that stuff. Boy, a high position. What's the highest position you can think of, Mr. Abner?
Oh, let's see, well, I reckon President of the United States, Cedric.
Oh, of course,
yeah,
sure.
That's about as high as you can get, I reckon. Now, whereabouts do I put the penny, Cedric?
Right in that slot there.
Oh.
Boy, President of the United States.
Hey, listen here. Yeah, I see it, yeah.
That's pretty good for a feller that never got past the third grade, ain't it?
Oh,
President.
yeah, that's good, all right. Yeah, that's mighty good, Cedric. Oh, here it comes. Ain't that cute? Let's see here. 147 pounds. You have a deep appreciation of artistic things.
Mama sure be surprised at me. She never thought I'd mount to much, even.
You should develop your own musical talents. Well, did you hear that, Lum? I got musical talent.
Yeah, I heard it. Wish that train hurry up and get here.
Doggone, I never knowed I had all them musical talents before. I wonder what instrument I play.
Well, don't it tell on the card there, Mr. Abner?
Let's see. No, that's all it is on there. Don't say a word. Yeah. Reckon how a feller could find that out now.
Well, maybe you ought to try the machine again. It might tell that.
Why, sure, that's right. What's the matter? I ought to have thought of that myself, Cedric.
No wonder I'm president thinking of things so quick.
Why, sure. Let's see now. Yeah, here's another penny. I know I had another. Yeah.
I bound you Gomer Bates will be jealous of me when he hears I'm going to be president.
I hope I play electric guitar. That's what I hope I play. I've always wanted to play one of them. Just love them.
Auburn hair and brown eyes. Can you hear the train yet, Abner?
Here it comes.
What, the train?
No, my fortune. That's a little card here. See what this one says. Find out what to play. Says, your quick wit and easy charm makes you welcome in any society. However, do not neglect your writing career.
Writing career?
That's what it says here.
Well, whatever happened to your musical career, I reckon?
No, because I don't know, Cedric. Right when I was getting good at it, too. Wait a minute. I bound you. Here's the reason I give it up so quick, right here.
Mom.
Look here, 137 pounds. That means I just lost 10 pounds.
Lost 10 pounds?
Why, sure I did. 137. I weighed 147 there a while ago.
Right, you shorty. You're looking thinner, too.
I am, huh?
Yeah.
I reckon that music playing is just too hard on me. Them guitars must be awful heavy. Lucky thing I found it out before it's too late, you know what?
Well, what are you going to do then? Just sit around and write books now?
I reckon so, Cedric. It's about all it's safe for me to do in my condition.
Gee, that's too bad. Mr. Lum, why don't you get weighed?
I don't care how much I weigh. Besides, them scales ain't accurate.
Why, they're too long. I just now lost 10 pounds. Never would have noted if the machine hadn't told me. Go on, Lum, weigh yourself there once.
No, I gotta watch for the train.
Well, you can hear it when it comes in. Go on now, Lum. It just cost a penny.
Yeah, all right. It'll make you happy. What do I do now? Stand on this thing here?
Yeah, just stand right there and then drop your penny in right up here. That's right. That's the place right there.
Just a lot of prattle-prattle, though, I can tell you that.
Yeah. There's your card right there. Read what it says, Lum.
I know what to do. Let's see. I weigh 161.
Well, I mean, read the fortune port.
Oh, that falter off. You are a brilliant executive and... Goodness, how did they know that?
Is that all it says?
No, it says, you are a brilliant executive and a stern leader.
Well.
However, you are courteous to strangers and never late for appointments. Well, they hit it right on the button.
Yeah, maybe we ought to go to a restaurant and eat something, Lum. I'd like to fatten myself up again if I can.
No, you stay here, Abner.
Well, I'm hungry, Lum. Doggies, I lost 10 pounds today. I can't keep that up.
That don't make no difference. I'm sorry I have to be stern, but that's just the way I am. A brilliant executive and a stern leader. It's in my blood, I think.
Well, it'll just take a minute now, Lum.
No, I don't want to miss the train. That's one thing about me. I'm never late for appointment.
Oh, my.
I've always been that way. All the editors was that way. Right on the dot.
Well, I'm hungry.
I believe I'll try that machine again.
Yes, Mom, I believe I will, too. I'm getting tired of being president, I think. I'd like to take up some other work for a while.
Well, let me be first, Cedric. I'm sort of a leader in everything. Stern but brilliant.
Mom, can I just go and buy me a candy bar?
After a while, Abner.
Oh.
What's the matter here? No card come out.
It never. Did you put a penny in there?
Yeah, I put that in. Right there in that slot. Same as the other.
That's funny, ain't it?
Here, let me hit it once. Sometimes them cards get stuck in there.
Oh, yeah, hit it, Cedric. No card yet.
Here, let me hit it. I'll bang it a gooder.
Yeah, swap it. Nothing happened. I reckon you better put another penny in, Lum.
No, I ain't gonna waste another penny in here.
Well, all right. Do as you like, then.
What's the matter with that thing?
Well, Lum, that ain't doing no good.
I wish I had a screwdriver. I'd open this dead blame thing up. Cedric, go and get the manager. Or the ticket agent, I mean.
Yes, Mom.
Now, Lum, don't go making a fuss about this.
Listen, Abner, I put a penny in this machine, and grannies, I'm going to get something in return for it to know the reason why.
Well, all you lost was a penny.
A penny's a penny. Nobody can do this to Lum Eddard and get away with it. Not a stern executive like me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Lum, that pounding ain't helping none. You're just going to tear it up.
Look at that. They got it chained down so you can't tip it over and get your money back. Snakes in the weeds. This is the last time I've ever come into this depot, I can tell you that. I'll stop and get on the train at Hatfield.
Oh, for the land's sake, just over a penny.
Come on.
Lum, now stop pounding that machine. I'll give you another penny if
No,
that's
I
all
want to
it's
get
worth.
my own penny back. Nobody's going to do this to me. When L. Eddard puts a penny in some machine, that machine better pay off or it'll get whopped right on top of the head. I'll tell you that.
Wait a minute. Here comes Cedric back. Maybe he's got it fixed up for you. Now, what did the ticket agent say, Cedric?
He said he was busy. Besides, he says he ain't got nothing to do with the weighing machine.
That's just about what I figured he'd say, that low-down crook. I'm going to write a letter to the president of this railroad. I'll get that ticket agent fired. That's what I'll do.
Well, now, Lum, maybe it ain't his fault.
Of course it is. He just fixes this machine so innocent fellers like me will come in here and lose all their hard-earned money.
Lum, all you lost was a little old penny.
I told you once, a penny's a penny. Besides, it's the principle of the thing. Wait a minute. Maybe this pocket knife will work.
Pocket knife? What are you going to do, stab yourself?
No, I'm going to unscrew them screws there and get my money back.
Well, Lum, you can't do that.
I can done it. Watch
That machine don't belong to you now, Lum.
Hey, Mr. Lum.
Hush up, Cedric.
But, Mr. Lum.
I told you to keep quiet. Can't you see I'm busy?
Lum, don't do
Yes,
that
but
now.
this is important. The train's already come.
Huh?
The train's here. Lum, we better get out there and find Miss Sloane, Lum.
Well, it's too late.
Too late.
Yes, Mom. Just two people got off the train, and both of them got in taxicabs and drove away.
Drove away.
Oh, my goodness, I've missed her.
Oh, my.
Why didn't you tell me quicker, Cedric?
Well, I tried to, but you wouldn't let me. You're so busy trying to get that penny back.
Hey, Lum, look here. Look here. Your fortune card fell out. Look there. It's in that little slot there. See it? Yeah, here it is, right here. Let's see what it says. You are a wise and generous person, but you have one fault. You are a reckless spendthrift.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner went to the county seat yesterday to meet Marion Sloane, the new school teacher. But difficulties with a weighing machine prevented them from carrying out this mission. So now, President Edwards of the school board is anxious to compensate in some way for failing to meet the new teacher. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner over at the schoolhouse, making preparations of some kind. Listen.
Well, Lum, I believe I ought to go on over the store and open up.
No, you can't do that, Abner. You can attend to that later.
Oh, my.
If anybody wants groceries, they can get them over Dick Huddleston's store. I want you to stick around the school here till after Miss Sloane gets here.
Well, how do you know that she's coming over here this morning?
Of course, I sent a note over to Sister Simpson's boarding house saying that I wanted the new teacher to drop over here and discuss education with me.
Well, we don't even know if she's in Pine Ridge yet, Lum. We missed her at the train yesterday.
Yeah, but she got here. I found that out myself.
She did, huh?
She'll be here. I know she will.
Well, I still don't see what you want me for. I ain't president of the school board. That's you, Lum.
I know who's president, but I need you to help out with a conversation.
Conversation?
Yeah, there's some things I want you to say. Things that I can't very well say myself.
What things?
Oh, you know, things like, did you know Mr. Edwards, Justice of the Peace? Or, my ain't Mr. Edwards a handsome and generous feller? Stuff like that.
You want me to say them things?
Yeah, it'd look like I was unmodest if I said such things about myself. And I don't want Marion to get the wrong impression of me.
Marion?
Yeah, that's her name. Marion Sloane.
Oh, yeah. Well, I still don't see what you're so bashful about casting favors at yourself all of a sudden for. You say all them things about yourself every time you make a speech, Lum.
Well, that's different.
I stand before you a self-made man. A man who is a barefoot boy, walked 19 miles to school every day in the snow.
All right, Abner, don't get sarcastic now.
You want me to tell her about you going barefoot and all?
No, just say casual remarks. Say them sort of offhanded like.
Offhanded?
Yeah. Think up some nice things about me and then throw them in every time there's a lull in the conversation.
A lull in the conversation?
Yeah.
And Doggers, if you act around Miss Sloane like you done around Miss Frederick, why, that means I'll be talking all the time.
It don't know such a thing.
I bound you never said 9 words to Miss Frederick all last year.
That ain't the truth, and you know it.
It is, done it.
Sometimes I had a lot to say. I had trouble getting a lump in my throat sometimes.
Yeah, that Adam's apple of yours bounced up and down like a rubber ball every time you seen her.
I had many a long heart-to-heart talk with her.
Well, I never heard you get past, howdy do, Miss Frederick.
Well, what's wrong with saying howdy do, Miss Frederick?
Well, what I mean, though, from there on, why, the conversation generally lulled permanent.
Well, that was mostly on account of I wasn't president of the school board then.
Oh.
Things is going to be different this year, I can tell you that right now.
Lum, now tell me the truth. Are you in love with Miss Sloane already?
Of course not, silly. I'm just doing this because I'm so interested in education, that's all.
Well, what you doing so dressed up for then?
I ain't particular dressed up.
That's your Sunday suit and you know it.
I'm just being neat, so.
Oh.
Everybody ought to be neat. I've always said that.
Yeah.
Besides, how could I be in love with a woman I ain't never even saw?
That's right. I doggos, we ain't sorry yet, have we?
Well, of course we ain't.
You know, I just die laughing if she's ugly as a mud fence.
Well, it wouldn't make no difference to me if she was. All I'm I'm interested in is discussing education with her.
Education.
Besides, I asked the ticket agent at the county seat depot yesterday if he'd saw any auburn-haired woman get off the train, and he said he never noticed her hair, but an awful good-looking woman got off the train there yesterday.
Well, how do you know that was her, though?
Of course, he said she was the only woman that got off at the county seat.
Well, I do know. But, all you're interested in is just, education, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Look out the window there and see if you can see her coming.
All right. My, Mr. Edder's a handsome and generous feller.
Don't say it in that tone of voice, Abner. Can you see anybody?
No. Nobody except Cedric. He's coming across there.
Oh, good. Yeah. I feared he wouldn't get here on time.
Get here on time? You aiming on him saying them casual remarks about you, too?
No, I just had him run a couple of errands for me, is all.
Oh, I see. I do know. Yeah, morning, Cedric.
Morning, Mr. Abner.
What you got in that box there?
Here, give it to me, Cedric. Yes, Mom.
What's in it, Lum?
Oh, nothing at all. Much obliged, Cedric.
Well, now, what's in it? Come on, now, tell me, Lum. What is it?
It's a flour and some perfume.
Oh.
For goodness sake, Cedric, do you have to tell everything? Oh, I'm sorry. I never knowed it was a secret.
Perfume, is that what you said, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. It's got a fancy name, too. Love's Temptation.
For the land's sake. Are you using that stuff now, Lum?
No, this perfume is just a little present for Miss Sloane.
Oh.
Just to make her feel at home in Pine Ridge is all.
Help the education.
That's right.
Yeah, well, let's see it, Lum. Open up the box there.
Oh, all right. There, look at it.
Let's see. Hey, doggies. Sure got a fancy ribbon on it, I'll say that for you. Where are you going to set it, Lum?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll just stand it on her desk here. I wrote out a card to go with it.
You have? What does the card say?
Oh, it's just stuff about education. You wouldn't understand it.
Well, what's this flower here for?
Well, that's to wear in her hair at Luke Spears' restaurant tonight.
Luke Spears' restaurant?
Yeah, I wasn't going to tell you, but maybe me and her will have supper there tonight. Just to discuss education, I understand.
Oh, sure, yes.
Cedric, did Luke say he'd fix that up for me? Yes, Mom. He said he'd stay open a half hour later tonight, so her and you could eat by yourselves after everybody else had gone.
For the land's sake.
And he said he'd fix it so you could eat by candlelight, too.
Candlelight?
Why, sure. We got to save electricity.
For the land's sake.
But he ain't found nobody to play soft romantic music on the mandolin yet, though.
Mandolin? Lum, you have to have music and candlelight to discuss education.
No, you don't have to have them.
Well, Cedric said Luke was trying to get them for you.
I know. I had that idea. It's better that way.
'Tis, huh?
You can concentrate on what you're saying then, I think.
My doggies, that beats anything I've ever heard of yet. Lum, you're more in love with her than every one woman you've ever saw yet. Never knowed about. You ain't even saw Miss Sloane yet.
I ain't in love with her.
No
such a thing.
I
ought to know.
Looking at you.
I ought to know when I'm in love, oughtn't I?
Well, you ought to, but you're in love right now. Getting that music over there and wanting to eat with her tonight, bringing her perfume and all that stuff.
I'm just trying to be neighborly, is all, Abner. I want her to feel at home. New teacher coming in here without a friend in the world.
I wish you'd move next to me if you're that kind of a neighbor, I'll say that. Elizabeth would love a bottle of perfume.
Take
me to Luke Spears.
1,000 or 100 times. I'm just doing this in the best interest of Pine Ridge education system.
I know what you're doing.
No, I got to be going. I never meant to get in no argument here. Papa wants me to help him in the blacksmith shop today.
Hey, wait a minute, Cedric. I'll go along with you.
No, now you're staying here, Abner. Much obliged for helping me out, Cedric. I'll see you later. Yes, Mom. Wonderful world.
Wonderful world, Cedric. Now, Lum, I'm going too. You don't need me around here.
Yes, I do. You're the one that's going to suggest me and her having this supper tonight at Luke's.
Me?
Yeah. When you hear me say that I think we ought to continue our discussion of education sometime soon, then you step in and suggest about the supper.
For the land's sake. Now, why don't you do that, Lum? You're the one that's going to eat supper with her, not me.
Well, it's better this way. It won't look like I'm being too forward.
It won't, huh?
No. And another thing, once in a while you can whistle something like,
Whistle?
Yeah, just little tunes like the Wedding March or Love's Old Sweet Song, just to put romantics in the air.
Doggy, this is going too far. Now, that's one thing I ain't going to do.
Yes,
Stand up
you
there and
are.
whistle.
Yes,
I
you-
ain't done it. No, sir. I won't do it.
You better whistle, Abner. I'm going to whop you right on top of the head with
Well,
something.
just start whopping, 'cause I ain't going to whistle no love songs, I'll tell you that. Get you a canary if you want some whistling, Dad.
See this eraser in my hand?
Now, Lum, put that down there. Don't you throw that thing at me. Now, you put that down. That's one of them wood backwards. Pick up a soft one if you're going to throw something.
I'll take a piece of chalk and write a sign right on your back.
Now, Lum, all right, I'll whistle.
See if you can see her coming yet. That's better.
Well, all right. Swan to goodness, stand around here whistling love songs for you. That beats anything I ever seen in my life.
Can you see her yet?
No, I can't. Some old codger wearing spectacles coming up the schoolhouse old.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Now, who can that be?
I don't know. I never seen him before. Maybe it's some feller that wants to get the janitor's job for this year.
Yeah, more than likely. Well, I'll get shut of him before he knows he's here, even.
Yeah, mind out. He's coming up the door now.
Well, how do you do, sir?
How do you do? I'm looking for, Mr. Edgar, I believe, the school board president.
Well, that's me, but the name's Eddard.
Oh, yes, of course. Edgar's, I'm sorry.
I'm Abner Peabody.
Hush up, Abner. What was you wanted, mister?
Wanted? Why, you sent for me, I believe?
Sent for you. I never sent for you.
Oh, you didn't? Well, now, that's strange. Awfully strange. I'm sure I received a note from you, something about dropping over here to have a chat on education with you.
Huh?
Yeah, but there's evidently been a mistake. Things do get jumbled up. But no matter. I just want to look the school over, get used to my new surroundings, you know.
Your new surroundings? What do you mean by that?
Why, I mean, as the new teacher,
New teacher? Well, wait a minute. Her name's Marion.
Oh, yes, that's right. Only I'm not a her. Marion Orville Sloane.
Oh, my goodness.
Is this where I start whistling?
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
You know? Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's elaborate preparations to welcome the new school teacher, the gifts of perfume and flowers, the secluded dinner by candlelight, and the other pleasant surprises he planned, all turned out to be a source of embarrassment when he discovered that Marion Sloane was not the auburn-haired woman of his dreams as he had anticipated, but was instead a talkative old man by the name of Professor Marion Orville Sloane. As we look around the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is just entering. Listen.
Oh, morning, Lum.
Morning, Abner.
Where about you been all morning?
Oh, just trying to get a little sleep.
Little sleep?
Yeah, let me sit down here.
Huh.
Granny's wore to a frazzle. Wore to a frazzle.
Well, what you so wore out for?
If you discussed education for 5 hours like me and that Professor Sloane done last night, you'd be wore out, too.
5 hours?
Yes, sir. 5 hours. I had to take him to Luke Spear's restaurant for supper last night because I'd already made all the arrangements.
Yeah, I know you did.
And do you know that we sat there and talked till after 10 o'clock? Or that is, he done the talking.
10 o'clock? Why, Luke don't stay open that late, Lum.
He did last night. Luke went to sleep behind the counter, and we had to wake him up when we left.
Well, I do know.
Fact is, I had an awful hard time keeping from going to sleep myself.
He did, huh?
Yeah, and that weren't all. Professor Sloane insisted on walking home with me, and he stood out in front of my place and talked for 2 more hours.
2 more hours?
Yes, sir. It was after 12 o'clock time I got in bed last night.
Well, I do know. Well, you must have enjoyed yourself an awful lot then.
Enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
That was, without a doubt, the worst one evening I've ever spent in my whole life, I do believe.
Well, I thought you liked to discuss education. That's what you said yesterday. Said you loved that more than every one thing.
Well, that was different, though.
That was when I thought Marion Sloane was a woman teacher. It's a lot easier discussing education with a pretty woman.
Well, did Professor Sloane enjoy eating by candlelight?
Oh, hey, shut up.
How'd he like that soft romantic mandolin music?
We never had no mandolin music.
Well, you told Luke to get somebody to play during supper, didn't you?
Yeah, but I canceled that.
Oh, my, that's too bad. I know Professor Sloane would have enjoyed that. Something wonderful. Did he wear that flower you bought for him in his hair?
All right, Abner. I've had just about enough of them smart remarks of yours. You didn't know yourself he was a man teacher till we seen him yesterday. You was fooled just as much as I was.
How'd he like that bottle of perfume you got for him?
All right, Abner. That's just enough of that.
Well, what was the name of that perfume? Love's Temptation. Yeah, that was it.
Abner, hush up and answer the phone. That was our ring, I believe.
Oh, that beats anything. I'll get it. Hello, jot 'em down, store and library doing the talking. Huh?
Store doing the talking?
Oh, howdy do, sir. No, this is Abner Peabody. You want what? Oh. Uh-huh. Oh, I know he'd love that, 'cause that's the one thing he enjoys doing. Just a minute.
Who is it?
Professor Sloane, Lum. He wants you to have supper with him tonight.
With him?
Yeah, he says he wants to continue your discussion of education.
Oh, my goodness.
Says he'd like to go into the early Egyptian school system, I believe he said.
Who cares about the Egyptian school system?
Well, what you want me to tell him?
Tell him I got triple pneumonia. Tell him anything.
Well, here, you tell him yourself.
No, I don't want to talk to him. Tell him I got to work late at the store tonight. Or I can't make it for supper. Tell him that.
All right. Hello? Professor Sloane?
Hate to tell a story.
Well, Lum says he's got to work late tonight, so he can't make it for supper. Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
Tell him I'm sorry, though.
He says he's sorry. Oh, he'd love to the worst way, but he just can't make it. All right, Professor. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank goodness I got out of that.
Of course, I don't see what you want to get out of it, Furlong, the way you love to discuss education and all.
All right, Abner, now don't start that again.
I wish you'd have had the win.
Well, I admit I did say that's what I want to do, but I've changed my mind since then. Granny, that Professor Sloane went all through how the old Greeks used to learn their young'uns.
Well?
Give all the theories of some feller named Socrates and another named Aristotle or some such a name as that.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed all that. Sounds interesting. Awful interesting.
Wished you'd have been there then.
Oh, my.
Wished you'd had to suffer like I did, and then maybe you'd stop making fun of me.
Well, I would have come, Lum, but I never had no flower to wear in my hair.
Abner, I told you once to cut out them smart remarks.
That's a good one.
All them remarks of yours smart. Ain't nothing smart about them. If you say one more word about flowers in the hair or romantic mandolin music, I'm going to whop you right on top of the head with something.
I was just repeating what I heard you say yesterday, Lum.
Well, everything's changed since yesterday. Fact is, I'm sort of thinking about resigning as president of the school board after all.
You are?
Yes, sir. I don't believe I could go through a whole year listening to Professor Sloane give his ideas on education.
Oh.
Uses the biggest words I ever heard in my life.
He does, huh?
I doubt whether he knows what they mean.
Well.
There's the monotonous one talker there is in the whole world, I bound you. He talked for a half hour without even stopping there. Hardly taking time to breathe even.
Well, what'd he say?
Well, you got me there. I ain't got the least idea what he was talking about.
Well.
All I'd done was just keep saying, yes, Professor Sloane. No, Professor Sloane. Uh-huh, Professor Sloane. That's right, Professor Sloane. Granny.
Oh, that sounds awful interesting. Just sorry I missed it. Love to have been there.
You ain't half as sorry as I am. Get the phone there, Abner. So I ring again.
It might be Professor Sloane.
Abner, cut that out. Please.
Hello, jot 'em down, store Abner Peabody doing the talking. Huh? Oh, yes, Professor Sloane.
Oh, my goodness, it's him again.
Uh-huh. Oh. Yes, sir. Well, that sounds wonderful. Oh, Lum will just be tickled to death to hear that.
To hear what?
He says he's arranged to have Sister Simpson fix supper for him and you late in the evening, Lum. So you can go over there after you get through working here.
Oh, my goodness. Tell him I got to work later than I figured I did.
Hello? Lum says he has to work later than he figured, Professor. Oh. Yes, sir. Just a minute. I'll tell him.
What did he say now?
He said it didn't matter how late it was, Lum. Said he's got insomnias or something like that and can't sleep no way.
Well, tell him I can't make it till after 10 o'clock, tell him.
Professor, Lum says he can't make it till after 10 o'clock.
And if you tell one story, you got to tell 1,000 of them, looks like.
Uh-huh. Well, just a minute. He says that's fine, Lum. Says make it later if you want to.
Yeah, blame it all anyway.
I believe you're stuck, Lum.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Hello? Lum says he'll be there, Professor.
Wait a minute, Abner. Wait a minute.
All right, sir. Goodbye.
Abner, what'd you say that for?
Well, there weren't nothing else to say, Lum.
Now then, as hungry as I am, I gotta wait till 10 o'clock before I can eat my supper. Dad, blame him.
Well, sure, after we close up, you're going to have to stand around somewhere till 10 o'clock. But after all, Lum, you're president of the school board. You ought to discuss education with the new teacher.
I wish you'd keep still about that. You're getting on my nerves.
I know if I was elected president, I'd jump at a chance like this.
You
Just
would.
love it. Yes, sir.
Why, Granny, you're going to get the chance then.
Huh?
You're going along with me tonight.
Oh, no, now, wait a minute now.
No use arguing, Abner. You're going with me, and that's all there is to it.
No,
yes,
I
you
ain't.
are.
No, sir.
I'm ordering you not to go around making smart remarks.
Well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. I can't go with you tonight. I'd love to, but I just can't.
Why can't you?
Why? Well, I'll just call.
Cause why?
Call. Well, I've got to get home tonight, that's why.
Why do you have to get home?
Why? Well, I forget the reason right now, but I know I have to go home. Elizabeth said I had to, I think.
Abner, you're telling a story, and you know it. I'm going to call up Elizabeth and tell her you won't be home for supper
Well,
tonight.
now, wait a minute now, Lum. Don't do that. Here, let go of that phone now.
Get away.
Well, wait a minute now, Lum. Listen. Elizabeth don't even know why I have to go home tonight. I ain't even told her yet. I'm going to surprise her,
I
Lum.
thought you said she was the one that told you. Hello? This you, Elizabeth? Well, this is Lum.
I ain't going to wait till 10.
Yes, Mom. Oh, just tolerably. Say, Elizabeth, Abner won't be home for supper tonight.
I will, done it.
Mom? Oh, yeah, huh? Oh. Yeah, I see. Well, all right, I'll tell him, Elizabeth. No, nothing important. All right. Goodbye.
What'd she say, Lum?
She said you had to come home because you're having somebody over for supper tonight.
Well, our doggy's good for us. I know there was some reason why I had to go home tonight.
Oh, stop that laughing. You sound like a half-witted hyena.
I'm sorrowful I can't go along with you tonight, Lum. Just love to sit there and say, yes, Professor Sloane. Professor Sloane.
Abner, if you say one more word to me about anything, I'm going to whop you right on top of the head with something.
Can't eat till 10 o'clock. That's a good one on you.
Damn it, there's that blame phone again.
Oh.
I'll answer it this time.
Yeah, get it, Professor, maybe.
Hello, Jot 'em Down store. President L. Eddard's talking. Oh, yes, Professor Sloane.
I don't get it.
Oh, that's him again. You won't? Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah. Well, I'm awful disappointed, but we can do it some other time, maybe.
Oh, he's getting out of it.
Yeah. Well, much obliged for letting me know. Yeah, all right, Professor Sloane. Goodbye.
What's the matter? Ain't he going to have supper with you after all?
No, he can't, he said. He's invited over to somebody else's house tonight, he said.
Well, who invited him?
Why, a woman by the name of Mrs. Abner Peabody.
Huh?
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I doggy's Lum. I believe you're right.
Now, see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, since it was discovered that Pine Ridge's new school teacher was to be Professor Marion Orville Sloane and not some beautiful auburn-haired woman, School Board President L. Edwards has been fast losing interest in the affairs of education. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Cedric is just entering. Listen.
Well, morning, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Abner.
Come on in. What can I do for you today?
Oh, nothing, I don't think.
Well,
Mr. Abner, where's a good place to run away to?
run away?
Yes, Mom.
You fixing to run away from home, Cedric?
I don't know. I might, I think. If Papa don't change his attitude towards me, I'm going to.
Well, what's your pa done now, Cedric?
Oh, he told me I couldn't charge nothing at the store here no more.
Huh.
Said if I didn't have the actual cash money to buy candy and chewing gum and stuff, then I just couldn't get it. Don't charge nothing more, it's what he said.
Well, he's got a good idea there, Cedric.
Well, I don't like it. Lots of times I want candy and I ain't got no money with me. So, here before I just charged it. Now I can't do that no more.
Well, I believe that'll be better for you, though, Cedric. I've noticed them bills of yours has been running up sort of high lately. No, I don't blame your pa for telling you that.
Well, it's a lot cheaper to charge things. Fact is, it don't cost nothing that way.
Why, sure it does. Somebody has to pay for it eventually.
Well, I think I'm going to run away. Might go clean to Canada. I don't know.
Now, don't do nothing silly like that, Cedric. Wait till Lum gets back. He'll have a talk with you about it.
Whereabouts is Mr. Lum at?
Oh, he's having a meeting this morning.
School board meeting?
No, this is an air raid warden meeting of some kind. Him and Dick Huddleston's having it. Lum says he ain't going to bother much with the school board no more, not since they hired that Professor Sloane.
Oh, is that Professor Sloane feller actually going to be the teacher this year?
I reckon so. And I don't blame Lum for not wanting to have much to do with him. He taken supper over at our place last night, and I thought he never would go home. Sat there in the parlor and talked and talked.
What did he talk about?
Oh, I don't know what all. Elizabeth and little Pearl got sleepy and went to bed about 9 o'clock, so I just had to sit there and listen to him all by myself. I kept yawning and stretching and getting up and winding the clock, but he never taken the hint.
He never.
No. Finally, I wound the clock up so tight I broke the thing. Then I put the cat out. I left the back door open so the cat keep coming back in. That way I could keep putting her out. But still, Professor Sloane never taken the hint.
Well, when did he finally leave?
I don't know. I went to sleep on the sofa. Never did hear him when he left. Woke up about 1 o'clock and he's gone. Oh, there comes Lum back from his meeting.
I might run away to Idaho instead of Canada. I don't know. I like Idaho potatoes.
Oh, well, now, don't talk about running away, Cedric. That's plumb silly. Yeah, did you and Dick have a good meeting, Lum?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, had a good one.
Well...
Hello, Cedric. Now, I got some work for you to do, Abner.
Me? Well, I ain't no air raid warden. That's you and Dick Huddleston.
You're assistant warden, though.
Oh.
We need you to help us put on a big drive we're having.
Well...
It's a drive to make every home in Pine Ridge a V home.
The home?
Yeah, just look at this box of stickers I got here. Dick got them from the Giverman.
Well, I do know. What's these things for?
Them are to paste on the windows of a V home.
Oh, well, sure, I'll do that. Just go around sticking these on folks' windows, huh?
Well, now, wait a minute. Not every home gets one of them.
Oh, they don't?
Not unless they live up to the 5 requirements for a V home.
Oh.
This is something they got to earn. This is an honor to get one of these.
Honor?
Why, sure. Dick said this V certificate is just like a service stripe in the Army. Only this is for the civilian Army.
Uh-huh.
Every time you see one of these stickers in a window, you know that there's a home that's doing all it can to win the war.
Well...
And we ain't going to win it unless every home wakes up and starts doing that.
We won't, huh?
Of course not. The soldiers can't win it by themselves, or the sailors, or Marines, or the war workers. It takes everybody to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm willing to do what I can. Now, what am I supposed to do, Lum?
I want you to go out and check up on some homes and see if they're patterned themselves after these 5 requirements.
Oh.
Now, here's a copy of them. Read that over.
Oh, this right here is what they're supposed to do, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
And if a home has lived up to them, then they've earned themselves one of these V stickers.
Uh-huh.
Say, Mr. Lum,
Yeah, what is it, Cedric?
which is the best place to run away to, Idaho or Canada?
I don't know, Cedric. I never have been to either place. You got that read over, Abner?
Yeah, Mike, now, preparedness, conservation, salary.
All right, then. I believe you better practice up once and see if you do it all right.
Practice up.
Yeah. Pretend like you're calling at a home now to check up on them.
Oh.
Cedric can be the housewife you're talking to.
Cedric, a housewife?
Oh, Mr. Lum.
Law me, Cedric don't look like no housewife, Lum.
Well, this is just for practice. Go ahead now. Cedric, you're a housewife.
Yes, Mom. Hurry up, though, because I got to run away.
Well, what's Cedric's name gonna be?
It don't matter what his name is.
Well, I got to know who I'm talking to, don't I? I can't call a housewife Cedric.
All right, then. He can be Miss Smith.
Smith?
Yeah.
Miss Ruth Smith?
No.
He's too tall for Miss Ruth Smith, Lon. She's a little bitty woman.
I ain't talking about Miss Ruth Smith.
Well, that's the only Smith I know around here is Miss Ruth Smith.
Well, I don't believe I like that name much, Miss Smith. I'd rather be Miss Pomeroy.
You mean Elsie Pomeroy, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. That's always been my favorite name. Elsie Pomeroy.
Awful pretty, yeah.
All right, you can have that name then. Hurry up.
Yeah, we will. Stand there by the candy counter, Cedric. Miss Pomeroy. That'll be your house from right there on back.
Oh, the candy case is my house?
Yeah.
Can I live in it?
Why, I reckon so, Cedric.
You want me to get in the house?
No, just make out like you're living there. You can be standing here. That'll be your front door.
For goodness sakes, Abner, you don't have to go into such detail as that.
Lom, we want to do this right.
Say, Mr. Abner, how much of them licorice candies there?
Oh, 2 for a penny, I believe, Cedric.
Well, I believe I'll take 3 cents worth of them then. And a penny's worth of them jelly beans and nickel's worth of gumdrops.
You always like these candy cigarettes here, Cedric.
Oh, for goodness sakes, you don't have to buy candy now. Let's get on with this practicing here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Just help yourself to whatever you want, Cedric. Now, here we go. Well, howdy do, Miss Pomeroy.
Mom?
That's you, Cedric.
Oh, yeah. Howdy do, Mr. Abner. Oh, is your name Mr. Abner?
Yeah, I ain't changed mine. Yeah, that's right.
Howdy do.
Nice day, ain't it, Miss Pomeroy?
Yes, Mom.
Do you have a V home?
No, Mom, I don't think we do. Just a regular frame house.
No, you ain't doing this right, Abner. Ask about them 5 requirements. They're all wrote down there for you.
Oh, these things, yeah. Miss Pomeroy, is your home prepared for air raid emergencies?
Mom?
That means, do you know what to do if we have a bombing or something like that?
Well, no, Mom, but Papa knows what to do. He's got a fire extinguisher and everything. Bucket of sand, a blackout room, and I don't know what all.
Well,
that's good. Somebody in your family has to know all about first aid, too. You can get that in, of course, Miss Blevins is given 2 nights a week at the schoolhouse.
Oh.
All right, go on, Abner.
Let's see what's next here. Miss Pomeroy, do you conserve food, clothing, transportation, goods, and health?
How much of them nickel coconut bars there, Mr. Abner?
Why, they're a nickel, Cedric. Do you want one?
Yes, Mama. How much are they?
A nickel a piece.
How much is 2 of them?
Well, that'd be, 10 cents for 2, yeah.
Take 2 of them then.
Yeah, all right, sir.
Cedric, you ain't paying no attention. I don't think you are neither, Abner.
I asked him the question, or asked her, Elsie Pomeroy.
Yeah, but you're supposed to find out if her family's being careful not to waste no food, and not to wear out their clothes too fast, and if they're just using their car when they have to so they can save on tires, and if they're keeping themselves in good health.
Oh.
Them's the things you got to watch, Cedric.
I ain't Cedric. I'm Miss Pomeroy.
Well, whoever you are. Go ahead, Abner. Ask him the next one.
Miss Pomeroy, are you salvaging old essential materials that can be converted into war use?
Mom?
That means, are you turning in all the iron and brass and metal and rubber and such things as that?
Why, of course he does, Lon. Cedric collected a big truck full of stuff just last week. Miss Pomeroy did.
No, Mom, that was Cedric that done that.
Oh.
All right, go on to the next one, Abner.
Let's see what's next. Mrs. Pomeroy, do you squelch rumors?
We don't take in no rumors.
No, not that kind of rumor, Cedric. This means that if you hear something that sounds like it might be military secrets or some kind, just keep it to yourself.
Oh, that kind.
And if you hear something that you ain't sure if it's true or not, just forget it. Don't repeat it.
Uh-huh.
All right, go on, Abner.
Yeah. Miss Pomeroy, do you...
I'll take one of them jumbo marshmallow bars, too.
Well, go ahead and take one. Miss Pomeroy, do you make regular purchases of war bonds and stamps? At least 10% of your salary?
No, Mom, but I think I'll purchase one of them walnut bars there.
Hi, Granny, wait a minute, Cedric. Don't you realize what an important thing this is? This has to do with winning the war. Or losing it if folks don't pay no more attention than you're doing. V stands for victory. And if we can't make every home a V home, well, we just won't have no homes of no kind left. That V sticker there is something everybody ought to work for. And it's going to take good, hard-working American families to earn it. All right, Abner. Get out now and see how many houses you can check before noon.
Yeah, all right. I'll go right now. I'll check them good. Don't worry.
Wait a minute. I'll go along with you, too. Come on.
Well, here, wait a minute, Cedric. You got to pay for all that candy you just bought.
Pay for it?
Why, sure.
Well, I ain't paying for this. I'm charging it.
You can't do that, Cedric. Don't you recollect what your papa said?
Well, this is different, though.
Different.
Yes, Mom. This candy was bought by Miss Elsie Pomeroy, and I know she's got our account here.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, day by day, Lum gets less interested in his job as president of the school board. And the main reason for this seems to be the new teacher, Professor M. Sloane, who likes nothing better than to sit down with Lum and have a nice chat about theory and the practice of education. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store, and seated in the library section is Grandpappy Spears, once again absorbed in his favorite volume, the Almanac. Listen.
Yeah, well, good for them. Good for them.
Good for who, Grandpa?
Let's see, McNamara and Van Kempen.
Who?
McNamara and Van Kempen. Well, I'm proud to know this.
Well, who is this McNamara and Van Kempen? What'd they do?
They win the bicycle race in 1924.
Bicycle race?
Yes, according to the almanac. They win it in 1924. The 6-day bicycle race. Well, good for them.
6 days? Is that how long it taken them to run the race?
Yeah, according to the almanac.
Well, I do know. Well, that's awful slow time, I'll say that part. 6 days. Doggies, I believe I could do it faster than that.
Yeah, that does appear like awful slow time, don't it?
Why, sure.
Of course, now it says here that there was 2 fellers that winded. That must mean that both of them was on the bicycle.
Oh, it does, huh? Sort of took turns riding each other, huh?
I reckon so.
Well,
and you got to admit, Abner, that'd slow them down considerable.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's different.
And maybe one of them was awful fat.
Could have been.
It's hard pumping with a fat feller on the handlebars, you know.
Why, sure it is. Fact is, maybe both of them was fat. See, this might have been the fat men's race. I know every year at the Elks Picnic over at Cherry Hill, they always have a fat man's race.
On bicycles?
Well, no, over there, they just sort of race on foot. Did you know them 2 fellers, Grandpa?
Yeah, what 2 fellers, Abner?
That, McNamara and Van Kempen, or whatever their names are.
Yeah, them names do sound familiar. Seems like I've heard them someplace. What do they look like?
Why, I don't know. They're fat, that's all I know. You was the one that's looking them up in the almanac there.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Look them up in the almanac. Where'd you meet these fellers, Abner?
Meet them? Well, I never met them nowhere. You was the one... Oh, wait a minute, there comes Lum.
What'd you say their names was again?
Wait a minute, there comes Lum. Well, howdy, Lum. What taking you so long? I thought you just went over to get the mail.
No, I did, but I run into that blame Professor Sloane again.
Professor Sloane?
Yeah, it looks like every time I get out, I run into him, and every time he has to start and discuss education.
Well?
Went all through the early Egyptian school system again.
He did, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to have to get shut of him. We don't all the young'uns in town that grew up talking Egyptian.
Well, what's he doing out running around town this time of day? I thought he was supposed to start school today.
Well, he did, but he let the young'uns out today early on account of this was the first day. Or some such silly reason.
Oh, the early Egyptians do it that way, I reckon.
More than likely.
Yeah, just about it.
I wonder what's a good legal way of getting shut of a teacher.
Legal?
Yeah.
Well, you ought to know that. You're president of the school board.
Yeah, I believe I found it, Abner.
Huh?
Sam Atchison and Walter Strury of Memphis.
Who are they, Grandpa?
These the fellas you want me to look up in the almanac for you?
Well, I never asked you to look up nobody in the almanac.
Sam Atchison and Walter Strury of Memphis. They won the National YMCA Doubles 4-Wall Handball Championship in 1936, according to the almanac.
Oh, me.
Anything else you want to know, Abner? Look up for you?
I never wanted to know nothing,
For
Grandpap.
goodness sakes, what is all this prattle-prattle?
I don't know, Lum. Grandpap read something in there about a couple of fellers winning a bicycle race. I believe their names was McNamara and Van Campen, so then we got to
What's
talking.
them names, Abner?
McNamara and Van Campen.
Just a minute, I'll look them up for you. Let's see here now, Mac.
There he goes again.
Well, just let him go ahead and read the almanac.
Yeah.
Abner, I want you to help me study up some way to get Professor Sloane to resign or something.
Well, I don't hardly know how to do that, Lum. Why don't you just take it up with the school board? Maybe they can figure out some way.
No use doing that. They wouldn't be no help.
They wouldn't, huh?
Well, Ezra Seastrong appears to want a man teacher this year, so he'll want the professor to stay.
Oh, yeah, more likely Ezra will, yeah.
And you know how Sister Simpson feels about a man teacher. I've heard she's already started sparking at the professor.
Oh, no doubt about that. No doubt about it at all, yeah. I seen her on the street the other day, all rosy-jawed and had her hair all frizzed up. She's got her cap set for him, ain't no doubt about it.
For goodness sakes, that's disgusting.
Why, sure.
Falling in love with a school teacher.
Of course, I'll say one thing firm, though, Lum. That would make an awful good match.
Good match.
Yes, sir, there is the one talkingest two people I ever knowed. Two talkingest one people. See here, what do I mean?
Well, I know what you mean, you're right.
Yeah.
They'd talk one another to death.
Oh, talk, both of them all the time.
But that don't help me get shut of the professor.
No.
And I know I gotta do it. As president of the board, it's my duty to do it. For the sake of the young'uns.
Sake of the young.
Why, sure. They won't learn nothing from him.
They won't, huh?
Sit up there and talk for hours.
Boy, he's a talker.
He'll more than likely run through the early Egyptian school system 1,000 or 100 times.
Yeah.
Them young'uns won't understand one thing he says.
Why, no, I don't reckon he will. I know I never understood nothing he said that night he took him supper with us. Sat there and talked half the night, and I don't know yet what he's talking about.
So we just got to get a new teacher. That's all there are to it.
Well, I don't know what to suggest, Arden. Why don't you just come right out flat-footed, Lum? Just tell him he's fired.
Oh, I can't do that, Abner. The board's got to vote on them things, you know.
Oh, they do, huh?
Yeah, we got to study up something that'll make him want to resign.
Oh, like what, for instance?
Oh, I don't know. Might scare him some way.
Scare him?
Yeah, get him to thinking the schoolhouse is haunted or something.
Schoolhouse is haunted?
Yeah.
Well, how you going to go about that, Lum?
Well, we can dress up in sheets like ghosts and drag some chains and go over there some night and just scare the daylights out of him.
Oh, doggone, I'd love to do that. Now, wait a minute, though. He ain't over there at night, Lum.
My granny says right.
No, he goes back to the boarding house in the night. He's just there in the daytime.
Well, we'd go over there someday. No, couldn't go in the daytime, could we?
Why?
Well, they'd see us.
Oh, yeah, doggone, that's right, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Just scare him to death. Make him think it's haunted over there. Yeah, that'd be a good one on him. Professor living in a haunted schoolhouse. Whereabouts did you hear that?
I never heard it no place.
Did you hear that, Grandpap? The schoolhouse is haunted.
Huh? I can't find these names in here nowhere, Abner.
Well, I don't care about that. Lum says the schoolhouse is haunted.
Abner, I never said no such a thing.
Haunted, huh?
Yeah.
Must be old Clyde.
Oh, Clyde.
Yeah, I used to know a ghost by the name of Clyde. He haunted places around here.
You mean you know the ghost personal?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Grandpap, you couldn't have did that.
Well, I never knowed him personal, no. But Charlie Redfield knowed him.
Charlie Redfield?
Yeah, many's the time I've heard Charlie tell how him and the ghost used to sit out on the hay rack late at night and talk about different stuff.
Oh, prattle. Sit and talk to a ghost.
It's the truth, Abner. I know one awful cold winter, Charlie gave Clyde a blanket to wear over his sheet.
A blanket to wear?
Taught the world and all of that ghost.
Oh, me.
You just ask Charlie. He'll swear up and down it's so.
That outcaps anything I've ever heard you tell yet, Grandpa.
I wouldn't believe Charlie Redfield no more than I would you, Grandpa.
No, me neither.
So that takes care of that. Now, let's get back to Professor
A
Sloane.
ghost that was named Clyde.
That's just exactly what it was, Clyde. I never did know his last name.
Well, ghosts don't have last names.
They gotta have a last name. They got a first name.
They don't even have first names, neither.
Well, this one did.
Oh, I don't believe it.
All right, hush up now, you two.
I recollect one time Clyde and Charlie Redfield teamed up and won the 6-day bicycle race in 1924.
6-day bicycle? I thought you read in the almanac there 2 fellers named McNary and Van Kempen done that.
Who?
McNary and...
All right, let's not get into that again.
Well, Grandpap said that Clyde and Charlie Redfield...
I think you're wrong, Abner.
Huh?
I'll look it up in the almanac and prove it to you.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Look it up, Grandpap. And maybe we can get some peace around here. Yes, I recollect, Abner, the fellas you're thinking of win the National Handball Championship. 4 walls doubles.
That was Sam Atchison and, somebody.
Who?
Sam Atchison and some other fella.
Oh, no, the ghost name was Clyde. Just ask Charlie Redfield.
Who's talking about the
Oh,
gold?
for goodness sakes, you fellers are enough to drive a man stark raving mad crazy. Now, hush up, both of you.
Well, I don't care, Lum. Grandpap
Abner, I said to hush up.
Well, all right, just the same. Still.
Let's stop that grumbling.
All right.
Grandpap, if you want to read, go ahead and read, but keep it to yourself. Don't read nothing out loud. Well, now, what if I did? Nothing, just you get everybody all mixed up, that's all. Just do as I say. And, Abner, you go over there and straighten out them canned goods there. They look terrible.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to sit here and study.
Huh?
I've got to do some thinking. I'll figure this thing out some way to get shut of the professor. And I need a lot of quiet around here to do it. Now, don't whistle or nothing or sing while you're working.
Don't worry, I ain't going to waste my whistling around this place.
And here's what I day. Let's see now. All right, Jiminy Lum, I believe you're in luck. Is this what you're looking for? Huh? You know them 2 friends of yours? Friends of mine? Yeah, McNamara and Van Kempen. Says here they won some kind of a bicycle race. It's a sure a small world, ain't it? Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum, who had planned to devote most of his time to forwarding education in Pine Ridge this year, is now spending all that time trying to dodge the new school teacher, Professor Sloane. As we look into the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library. Abner is dusting off the shelves, while Lum is rummaging around back of the counter, apparently hunting for something. Listen.
Abner, do you recollect what we ever done with them false beards and mustaches we had around the store here?
Beards and mustaches?
Yeah, we got them to sell during Halloween one year.
Oh, them things, yeah. Let's see, what did we do with them? Well, what do you want them for, Lum? This ain't Halloween yet.
No, I want to wear them.
Wear them? Well, you got a mustache of your own.
I know, but I want something to disguise myself in.
Are you taking up that detective work again?
No, I'm just trying to keep from spending the rest of my life listening to Professor Sloane talk to me.
Oh.
Granny is getting to where no matter where I go, there's Professor Sloane. And right away he gets into another one of them long-winded discussions about schooling.
Well, why don't you just hide every time you see him coming?
I never seen him coming. I believe that feller's got spies trailing me around so he knows exactly where I'm at every time he feels like talking. Well, that's the truth. He can pop up out of nowhere.
Well, why don't you just tell him you ain't interested and walk away from him?
Well, I can't do that. I've got to act like I'm interested as long as I'm president of the school board and all.
Oh.
I've got to disguise myself. That's all there are to it.
Well, we got some Halloween masks around here somewhere, Lum. He never would know you in the world in one of them.
Oh, I can't wear none of them. It just make me look silly.
Well, he wouldn't know you. We got one awful good one, Lum. It's sort of a donkey face.
No, wouldn't I look fine walking around town with a donkey face?
Oh, yeah, I reckon you would have to have the rest of the donkey outfit to wear with it, wouldn't you? Let's see now. Where could you get a donkey outfit?
For goodness sakes, Abner, don't get on that subject.
subject, because I ain't going to go around looking like no donkey on purpose.
I believe that's the best idea for you, Lum. If you just wear a beard, why, Professor Sloane will just think you're some stranger in town, and he'll more likely start talking to you anyway. But if he sees a donkey coming down the street, you know good and well he ain't going to stop and talk to no donkey.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him.
Ah.
Not the way that fellow loves to talk.
Oh, that's silly, Lum. He wouldn't strike up no conversation with a donkey. That is, unless, of course, it's a talking donkey.
Talking donkey?
Yeah, there used to be a talking donkey over at Old and Grandpappy Spears tell me about just the other day.
Grandpapa?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder. He'd tell you anything.
He claims that he even talked to the donkey once himself, Lum. He said they sat down and had an awful nice talk. Talked for about now half hour, he said.
Abner, you ought to know better than to swallow all that prattle Grandpap puts out.
Well, I don't believe everything Grandpap tells me, Lum, but I know this is true because Grandpap repeated some of the actual conversation to me.
He just made that up, Abner.
Oh, no. This happened about 27 years ago. There was a carnival there in Olden, and Grandpap said he's walking along, and all of a sudden this donkey stepped up to him and said, well, if it ain't old Milford Spears.
Oh, well, that was more than likely just one of them ventriloquists.
Well, I don't know what kind of a donkey it was. Might have been that kind. Anyway, Grandpap said he's awful surprised because he hadn't never met the donkey before, you know.
That's all I want to hear of that, Abner.
So Grandpap stopped and shaking hands with the donkey.
Shaking hands with him?
Well, shook paws with him, or hoofs, or how would you say that?
I wouldn't even try. Hey, hush up while I answer the phone there.
Well, anyway, they shaking hands. The donkey introduced himself.
Hello, jot him down, store and library.
Said his name was Avery.
Avery Eddard's talking. Lum Eddard's talking. Lum?
Grandpap said there's quite a coincidence because his middle name was Avery, too,
for
you know.
goodness sakes, Abner, hush up. I can't hear a thing here.
Oh, excuse me.
Hello, who is this? Oh, yeah. 5-pound bucket of lard. 2 gallons of coal oil. Bottle of pickles. Quarter's worth of crackers.
Funny thing, Grandpap and the donkey's name both being Avery, weren't it?
Mom? No, Abner more than likely to deliver this.
Avery.
Well, I'm busy.
Avery Donkey, I reckon what they
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Fine pair.
Yeah, sorry to miss out on that. All right, Miss Abernathy. Much obliged for the order. Goodbye.
So the donkey then asked Grandpap if he'd ever been to El Paso, Texas.
Abner, I told you once I don't want to hear no more about the donkey.
Oh.
Besides, here's an order for you to put up and deliver to the Widder Abernathy.
Well, now, you deliver it this time, Lum. I do all the work is around here.
I would, Abner, if it was someplace else, but the Widder says she just baked up a surprise for me.
Surprise for you?
Some kind of a cake. She says it's my favorite.
Well, you like cake.
Yeah, but I ain't going over there and sit in the kitchen while she giggles and tries to act like a high school girl. Plumb disgusting. And then there's all them wild young'uns of hers climbing all over you.
Yeah.
Granny's, I'd almost rather talk to Professor Sloane than go over there.
Well, I wouldn't mind if I'd get some cake, but she never does offer me none.
Wait a minute. I believe a ID just come to me.
ID?
Yes, sir. Something that's going to take care of Professor Sloane.
Huh?
Look, Abner. He's already got Sister Simpson sparking at him, ain't he?
That's what you said you heard the other day, yeah.
But that don't bother him none, because he's the one feller that can out-talk Sister Simpson.
Yeah.
That is, almost anyways.
Yeah.
But now, if we can get the Widder Abernathy sparking at him, too, I grant you he's as good as out of town right now.
I bogus, you're a genius, Lum. A genius.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. Not quite that far, anyway.
Well, wait till, Lum. How you going to get the Widder Abernathy to start sparking at the professor?
Don't worry. That won't be hard.
She ain't showed no signs of being in love with him, has she?
Listen, Abner, all we got to do is have Professor Sloane walk slow about a couple of 100 yards from the Widder's house there, and she'll be sure that he's chasing her.
He will?
Oh, yeah. You know how she is.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be hard at all. And you start working on it right today.
What do you mean?
Well, when you take them groceries over there today, you can start throwing out little hints.
Little hints?
Yeah, like asking her if she's noticed how good-looking the new school teacher is.
He ain't good looking.
No, but it's easy to get the Widder to thinking that he is.
Oh.
Mention that you heard him say he just loves home cooking.
Home cooking, huh?
Yeah, and that he's the kind of a feller that ought to settle down and have a family of his own. You can tell by the deep interest that he takes in all the young'uns at school.
Well, here, Lum, you go over there and say them things. You know what you want to say.
Well, that wouldn't work out. How can a woman think about any other feller when I'm around?
Huh?
No, you just got to do it, Abner.
Well, I don't want to, Lum. Doggies, I don't like to talk to her no better than you do.
I don't care. You're the only man for the job.
Wished I knowed where to get hold of Avery and have him do it.
Avery?
Yeah, the talking donkey. I could just send him over there to graze near the Widder's house, and while he's eating grass, he could look up every once in a while and strike up a nice conversation with him.
Now, don't get on that subject, Abner.
It'd sure be handy to have him around, old Lum. I believe if I had my druthers of anything in the world, I'd take a talking donkey every time.
Abner, hurry up and get them groceries put up.
Yeah, I get it. Sure be nice to have Avery, though. Just get him to make all the delivers for me. You say, Avery, take this basket to the Sea Strunks' place and take this and over the Macmillan. He'd say, yes, sir, Mr. Peabody. Or do you reckon he'd call me Abner?
I don't know what he'd call you, and I don't care.
Oh.
Here, I'll put up the grocery order myself. That's the only way I can ever get anything done around here is to do it myself.
Lum, I believe I'll write Avery a letter.
Write him a letter?
Yeah, ask him if he'd like to come and work for us. I reckon he'd work pretty cheap. There ain't a whole lot of donkey could use money for.
Hey, Granny's Abner, you get more ridiculous every day. You can't write no letters to a donkey.
To Avery I can.
Oh, you can't. He can't read.
Huh?
All he's supposed to be able to do is talk.
Doggy, that's right, ain't it?
Well, he can do that.
I'll call him up on the telephone then.
Call him up on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Can't you get this silly idea out of your head? In the first place, that was just a carnival act. In the second place, that was a long, long time ago.
Oh, my goodness, it weren't so long ago, just 27 years long. Grandpap said he went over to... wait a minute. I believe that's our ring. That might be Avery right now.
Go ahead and answer.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hello, jot 'em down, store Abner Peabody doing the talking. Oh, just fine, Professor Sloane.
Uh-oh.
Just a minute, I'll ask him. Lum, he wants to know if you're going to be in the store for a while. Of course, if you are, he wants to come over and have a little chat with you.
Oh, my goodness. Tell him, let's see.
I'll tell him you got to make a delivery.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, you don't, Abner. You ain't going to get me to take them groceries over to the Widder's place.
Well, if you don't, I'll have to, Lum. That means you'll have to stay at the store and listen to Professor Sloane.
Granny, that's right, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right, tell him then.
Hello? Lum says he's got to deliver some groceries to Miss Abernathy's place. Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, Abner. I got an idea. Tell him to meet me over there.
Huh?
Tell him that, go ahead and tell him. Say the Widder likes to discuss education, too.
Oh, hello? Lum says for you to meet him over at the Widder's place, Miss Abernathy's, She just loves to discuss education. Yeah. All right, sir. Goodbye.
Is he going to do it?
Yeah, but I don't see what you want to do that for, Lum. I thought you was trying to get away from him.
I am, and I'm going to. You're going to make the deliver after all.
Me?
Yeah, I'll make this up to you some other way, Abner, but I just can't stand to be around them two people.
Lum, I done told him you'd be there.
Tell him I got awful busy here at the store and couldn't leave. Tell him anything.
Oh?
I hate to have to do this, but I just can't help it. Here's the basket. I got everything in it.
Yeah, but now, Lum...
Abner, do this for me, please.
Well, all right. I still don't see why I have to do everything around here. Quick as I get back, I'm going to call up Avery. Wonder if Grandpap knows his ring. More likely he calls up Avery every once in a while.
Hurry back, Abner. Hello, jot 'em down, store and library. L. Eddards talking. Oh, no, I ain't left yet, Miss Abernathy. The fact is, Abner's the one that... Ma? Oh, the professor called you, huh? You what? Changed the plans. Oh, he's going to meet me down here, huh? But wait a minute. But...
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum has finally hit upon a plan which he thinks will eventually rid Pine Ridge of its new talkative schoolteacher, Professor Sloane. He has decided to encourage a love match involving the professor and Widow Abernathy. Judging from his own experience, Lum feels that nothing could make a man want to leave quicker than to be pursued by the widow. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their Jot 'em Down store and library discussing the progress of this match. Listen.
So the Widder didn't act like she's much interested in Professor Sloane, huh?
No. All the time her and him was at the store here, the Widder just kept looking sideways at me and sort of giggling.
Well,
Never paid no attention to the professor at all, hardly.
well, of course, I don't blame her much, Lum. If I was a woman, I don't believe I'd pick him out to spark at neither. He ain't the romantics type.
Well, I know, but we got to make the Widder Abernathy think he is.
Well, that ain't gonna be easy, I can tell you that right now.
I know it ain't, but it's the best way I can think of to get shut of the professor. When she starts chasing him, he's going to pack up and leave so fast it'll make his own head swim.
Well, are you sure that'll make him leave, Lum?
Well, might not sure it will. I know I always feel like leaving Pine Ridge every time she looks at me sideways and starts that giggling.
Well,
That's the worst one sensation a feller can go through.
yeah, well, you ought to know she's been giggling at you for years.
I wish there was some way of selling her to the giverment.
Give her me.
She'd make off a good secret weapon to use on the enemy.
Well, why don't we just write to Giverment and find out then?
No, Abner, I was just joshing, silly.
Oh, gosh, you know. I thought you serious. Sounded like a good idea when you said it. Fact is, I believe it is a good idea. Let's just write a letter to the Giverment and see what they say.
No, we ain't going to write no letters.
Well, we could write just a little letter.
No, not even a little one. Wait a minute, though. Now, Granny, I believe you give me an idea.
Well, I never give it to you, Lum. This was your idea.
I don't mean that. I mean we're going to write a letter to the Widder. A love letter.
A love letter? Now, don't get me in on this, Lum.
Well, don't worry, I ain't. This letter's going to be from Professor Sloane.
Oh.
We'll sign his name to it.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Granny, that ought to get the Widder interested in him.
Yeah.
Get out some paper and pencil, Abner.
Yeah, I'll get some.
And find some that don't say Jot 'em Down store on it.
Yeah.
We don't want her to know where the letter actually come from.
Well, here's some. Here's blank on both sides. This ink tablet here, Lum.
Yeah, that's good. You got a pencil?
Yeah, just sharpened one up this morning. Yeah, here.
Yeah, well, you keep it.
Uh-huh.
I want you to do the writing.
No, you better do this, Lum. You can write better than me.
No, she's liable to recognize my handwriting. Nobody in the world can recognize that scratching of yours.
They can't, huh?
Now, you sit there and write while I dictate.
Well, all right. Go ahead, dictate.
Let's see. Make that my dearest darling Lydia.
Lydia?
Yeah, that's her give name.
Oh, I'd clean forgot about that. Then she used to just call her Widder, you know.
You got that wrote down?
Darling, yes. Lydia. Is that a L-I-D?
I reckon so.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do you think we ought to say next?
Oh, I don't know. How about, I love you?
Oh, no.
Well, that's what we want the Widder to think, ain't it?
Yeah, but that comes too quick in the letter.
Oh.
We got to sort of lead up to that gradual.
Uh-huh.
I love you oughtn't to come till the second or third sentence. Can't start right out of that way, first letter.
Well, how about this then? How are you?
No, that's too common.
Well, that's how Elizabeth's brother Fred down in Texas always starts out his letters. How are you? We are fine. Hope you are fine, too.
Yeah, well, that's all right when you're writing to relays. This is a love letter, though.
Well, then we ought to put down, I love you.
No, I know the professor wouldn't start out his letter like that. Don't forget we got to make this sound like it was him writing it.
Well, I don't know what he'd say, Lum. All he ever talks about's that Egyptian school system.
Maybe we ought to mention something like that then.
Huh?
That way there couldn't be no doubts about where it come from.
Oh, no. Well, how about, my dearest darling Lydia, the Egyptian school system is a good one. I love you.
No, that don't sound right.
Well, it's got I love you pushed down into the second sentence, sir.
Oh, no, but there's something wrong there.
maybe you better start it out this way. My dearest darling Lydia, how are you? I take my pen in hand to drop you a few lines to let you know how I'm getting along.
Well, Lum, how are you? I thought you said that was just for relays.
Well, I believe it's considered good form for love letters, too, now that I think about it. Put that down.
Yeah, all right. How are you?
All right, now put down, I am fine.
I am fine.
Hope you are fine, too.
Hope you are... This don't sound very romantic, Sloane.
Well, we're coming to that.
Oh.
You've got to be subtle about these things.
Well, does I love you come next?
No, first we better say something about how our hair looks.
Oh, my goodness, Lum, don't let the professor tell her that. She never will speak to him.
Well, we don't say how it actually looks. We say it looks pretty and that he admires it.
Well, he must not have good eyesight. That's all I can say for him.
Write this down. I have admired your beautiful hair, which is like spun gold.
Spun gold?
Yeah, sounds good, don't it? I read that somewhere. Hope I can recollect that. I might want to use that myself sometime.
Are you sure you mean gold, Lum? Her hair's more the color of old iron.
No, I mean spun gold. Put that down.
Yeah, all right. I'm afraid the Widder ain't going to know who the professor's talking about, though.
Don't worry, she'll know. Now, let's see. Uh-oh, wait a minute. There comes Cedric Weehunt. Better not let him know exactly what we're doing, Abner. He always tells everything he knows. You know?
Yeah, I won't say nothing, so don't worry.
Wonderful world.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric. Come on back.
Yeah, how are you, Cedric?
Oh, all right, I think. What are you fellas doing, writing a letter?
Oh, sort of one. You got that last sentence down there, Abner?
Yeah, I got it.
Who are you writing to, Mr. Lum?
Oh, nobody.
Well, how do you know who to address the letter to, then?
Cedric, don't ask so many questions. Now, I'll put down something about her eyes, Abner.
Her eyes?
Yeah, say how much he admires them, too. And then say he admires her complexion and her lips and chin. Maybe you can bunch all them things together.
Yeah, might as well. They're already pretty well bunched together, as near as I can see.
Is this a love letter you fellas are writing?
Oh, no.
Sounds like it is. I'd love to write a love letter to somebody sometime. Only I ain't in love with nobody. I'm too busy with my schoolwork these days.
Schoolwork? Are you going to try school again this year, Cedric?
Yes, Mom.
Well...
Keep writing, Abner.
I am.
Papa had a talk with the new teacher, Professor Sloane. He said I was too big a boy to be in the 3rd grade.
Well?
Who said that? The professor?
Yes, Mom. So he said if I could take a intelligence test, why, he'd put me in the 6th grade. Or maybe even the 7th grade. Boy.
Well, that sounds good, Cedric. You have to pass an intelligence test, huh?
Yes, Mom.
Do you think you can pass it?
Well, I don't know. Intelligence is one subject I ain't never taken up.
No, I've noticed that. You got that finished yet, Abner?
Just about. I'm writing at it.
All right, then, write down that he hopes he's going to see her quite a lot while he's here in Pine Ridge. And, that ought to be enough. Go ahead and sign, well, you know how to sign it.
Yeah, I know, but we ain't said I love you yet nowhere's long.
Granny's, that's right, ain't it?
Well, no, it ain't in here at all. Just talks about how pretty he thinks she is and all that, but he never does tell her that he loves her here.
Yeah, we ought to get that in there for
Why, sure, that's what we're writing a letter for.
Well, Abner, you can't come right out flat-footed and tell some woman you're in love with her. You gotta sort of make her guess it.
Well, I don't know how you're gonna make her guess it. If you're in love with her, come out and say so. Don't beat around the stump about it.
Well, we'll write her another some other time and get that in there.
Another?
Just finishing this one up the way I told you.
Well, all right.
Papa said it might help if you'd write me a reference letter, Mr. Lum.
Oh, what kind of letter?
A reference. One that says Cedric is a good, smart boy and all such as that.
Oh, you mean a reference letter? Well, sure, I'll write you one.
Papa says it ought to help me get in the 6th grade, long as you're president of the school board and all.
Yeah, it ought to. I ought to have something to say about the school system here. Are you through yet, Abner?
Yeah, it's all dead. Thank you.
Now, here's another letter I want to dictate.
Huh?
Are you ready?
Just a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
To Professor Sloane, whom it may concern.
To Professor Sloane?
Yeah.
Papa said a reference letter might help me get in the 6th grade.
Yeah, you already told us that, Cedric. You got that, Abner?
Yeah, got it.
Cedric Weehunt is a good boy.
Oh.
And smart, too. Almost.
This might even help me get in the 7th grade, the way that's sounding.
Yeah. I would consider it a favor to me if you done
Well,
all
wait
you
a minute,
can.
not so fast, Lum. I can't write that fast.
All right.
Tripping over my tongue here.
Got that?
Yeah, just about.
Done all you can to help Cedric get into the 6th grade. Signed, L. Edwards, President of the School Board.
Boy, that sounds awful good. I ain't never had a reference letter before.
Well, there it is. That's all it is. Do you want to put it in an envelope?
Yeah. Reckon you want to take this with you, don't you, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, I'm going over there and hand it to the school teacher right now.
Wait a minute, Abner. You sure that's the right letter now?
Yeah, it's the right one. See there? To Professor Sloane.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I'd hate to have him get a hold of a certain other letter.
Oh, yeah, well, here you are, Cedric. Now, I hope you have good luck with that intelligence test.
Yes, Mom. Well, much obliged. I hope I do, too.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how I come out.
Yeah, do that, Cedric. So long.
So long. Wonderful world.
Doggy, it's going to seem funny having Cedric in the 6th grade, ain't it?
Yeah. I hope that ain't too hard a test the professors ain't on giving him.
No.
Whereabouts is that letter now? I want to read it over and see how it sounds.
Oh, yeah, I'll get it for you. Let's see now, where'd I put that thing?
You had it right there on the counter, didn't you?
Yeah, I had it just now.
And I know you never put it in that envelope.
No, I made sure I never done that, no.
Well, maybe it fell on the floor over there.
Yeah, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Hi, doggies, you know what I done, Lum?
No, what?
I wrote Cedric's letter on the back of the one you just dictated to the Widder.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Hi, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
Now, see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's plan to get the new school teacher, Professor Sloane, to leave town has gone amiss. In an effort to get the widow Abernathy infatuated with the professor and thus make life unbearable for him in Pine Ridge, the old fellows wrote her a love letter and signed the school teacher's name to it. However, Abner wrote it on the back of a reference letter which Cedric wanted to present to the professor, and thus the love letter fell into his hands. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library worrying over the turn of events. Listen.
Well, now, Lum, I never done it on a purpose.
I know you never, Abner, but you ought to have had more sense than to write one letter on the back of another.
Well, Cedric was in such a hurry to get that reference letter wrote that, well, I reckon I just never had time to get another piece of paper.
You can get me into more trouble than every one feller I ever knowed in my life.
Yeah.
And you do it so easy, too. I believe you've got a natural talents for that sort of thing.
Oh, now, you're just saying that to make me feel good, Lum.
I wish somebody would say something to make me feel good. I wonder what Professor Sloane's thinking about me right now.
How do you know he's thinking about you?
Well, he must be. Here I am president of the school board, and what am I doing?
Huh?
Writing love letters to the Widder Abernathy and signing his name to them.
Oh.
That ain't a fine thing for a president to be doing.
Well, maybe he never seen the letter, Lum.
Well, how could he help seeing it? It was wrote on the other side of that reference letter we wrote for Cedric.
Yeah.
And Cedric taking that right over to the schoolhouse and give it to him.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to take that intelligence test to try to get in the 6th grade.
Professor Sloane ain't called up here any time this morning, has he?
No, not that I know of.
What he's more likely done is taken that letter straight to the school board.
School board?
Why, sure. And they're more than likely holding a meeting right now to vote me out of office.
Well, can they do that?
Well, they can if they got some evidence showing I ain't fit to be president no longer.
Oh.
And that letter's enough evidence, I believe.
Well, just tell them it was a mistake.
Well, how could it be a mistake? It's all wrote down in blank and ain't fair.
Yeah.
I reckon the thing for me to do is just pack up and leave town.
Leave town?
Why, of course. I'm disgraced, ain't I?
Well, I reckon so if they put you out of office here, yeah.
I was just thinking. Here we wrote that letter to get the Widder to sparking at Professor Sloane's so's he'd leave town. Well, the letter worked all right. Only thing, the wrong fellers having to leave town.
Yeah, wait a minute, Lum. Wait a minute. I believe I got an idea. Just tell them that you meant to sign your own name to the Widder's letter and say you got mixed up and put Professor Sloane's name on there by mistake.
No. I'd rather get thrown out of office than to have the Widder thinking I wrote her a love letter.
Oh.
No, the only thing for me to do is just leave town.
Well, whereabouts could you go, Lum?
I don't know. Just be a wanderer on the highway of life, I reckon. No home, no job, no friends. Just an orphan tramp.
Well, you could get a job summers, couldn't you?
I doubt it.
You could dress yourself up like a woman and get you a job in some airplane factory, Lum.
More than likely word would get around about me being a disgrace and getting thrown out of office. Nobody wants that kind of a feller.
Well, just don't tell them about it.
Well, they find them things out, though.
They do, huh?
Sure.
Well, why don't you go to a foreign country, then, where they can't understand our language, and then if somebody told them about you being a disgrace, why, they wouldn't understand a word of it.
That's more than likely what I'll have to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I believe.
I might go to Mexico and weave rugs. Or maybe get a farm and grow Mexican jumping beans.
Jumping beans?
Yeah, you saw them.
Huh?
Feller had some at a carnival at Cherry Hill one time.
Oh, yeah, I recollect that now. I never knowed they actually growed them, though. I thought that was just a trick of some kind.
No, they grow them.
Well, I know. I'd sort of like to grow them things myself. Maybe I better go with you, Lum.
There ain't no reason for you to leave town.
Don't forget that letter was in my handwriting.
Yeah, but you ain't president of the school board or nothing. You ain't got no office to get voted out of. You won't be no disgrace.
Well, I believe I'll go anyway, Lum. There ain't no one thing I'd rather do than have a jumping bean farm. Just think how much spare time we'd have.
Spare time?
Why, sure. Just sit there and play checkers might not all day long. Or go fishing, either one. I've heard there's awful good fishing down there in Mexico. Them swordfishes and yellertails and tortillas and all.
Well, wait a minute now. How do you figure we're going to have so much time on our hands?
Why, the jumping beans will do most of the work. In the spring, why, just dig a bunch of furrows and then just let the seed jump in them.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Then in the fall, we just set out a bunch of cans and boxes and let the beans jump right off the vines into the boxes.
Ridiculousest thing I ever heard of.
Well, that'd be a heap quicker than picking them, I can tell you that right now. Fact is, that'd be something be awful hard to pick, you know it. Trying to pick them beans and them jumping that way be just about like trying to pick up a cube of ice, you know it?
That's fine, but the beans can't jump that far, Abner.
Huh?
And even if they could, they wouldn't know which direction to jump in.
Wouldn't, huh?
I don't think.
Well, I don't. We just train them then.
Train them?
Why, sure.
Abner, you can't train a bean.
Huh?
Mexican jumping beans or any other kind.
Well, how did the beans learn how to jump in the first place then? Somebody must have learned them, Long.
No, they're just naturally fidgety.
I know good and well no bean's just going to sit there and say to itself all of a sudden, well, today I'm going to take up jumping, I believe.
Of course no bean's going to say that to itself. That's plain silly.
Why, sure it is.
But I can tell you, nobody learned the Mexican beans how to jump, though.
Somebody must have given them a little hint, Long. They wouldn't pick that up all by themselves. Now, would they?
Abner, I ain't going to discuss this with you no more.
No.
It's too silly. I'd almost rather discuss the Egyptian school system with Professor Sloane.
Now, when are we going to start for Mexico, Long?
We ain't starting. You're staying here in Pine Ridge, and I ain't sure just where I am going.
Oh?
I might go up north to North Dakota and work in the wheat fields. I don't know.
Wheat field?
I've heard they got wheat fields so big you can work in them for months without even running across none of the other workers. And that's what I want. I don't want to see folks.
Well, I still believe I like a jumping bean idea better. Believe I'll write a letter down to Mexico and see if they got any jumping bean farms for sale down there.
For goodness sakes. How could you write a letter to them? You can't write Mexican.
Bogus, that's right, ain't it?
Of course, I'll admit that handwriting of yours could be mistook for Mexican.
Reckon they got any of them bean farms in the United States?
I don't know, and I don't care. I wish I'd never brung the subject up.
Well, they must have some in this country, Lum. Wonder where that carnival feller got his jumping beans.
I don't know. I'm going home and start packing, Abner.
Packing right now?
Yeah, I want to get out of town before that dad-blamed school board comes over here to tell me they've impreached me.
In what?
Throwed me out of office.
Oh,
If any of them comes in the store, just tell them you don't know where I went. Tell them I'm way on business summers.
well, all right, but I don't believe you ought to leave this quick, Lum. We got a lot of things to straighten up around the store here before you leave. Got to sort of straighten out our business, decide what I'm going to do with your half of the store.
I'll give you my half.
No, you ain't. No, sir, now, that wouldn't be... wait a minute. There comes Cedric. Cedric.
Oh, I don't want him to see me neither.
Well, he can tell you exactly what Professor Sloane said when he seen the letter you wrote to the Widder Abernathy for him.
No, that's the one thing I don't want to hear. I'm going out the back way.
Wait a minute. It's too late. He's done seen you. There he is right there.
Not very wonderful world.
Oh, howdy, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Lum. Howdy, Mr. Abner.
What's the matter with you, Cedric?
Oh, I never passed that intelligence yesterday.
You never?
No, Mom. Doggone it anyways.
Well, that's too bad, Cedric. What seemed to be your trouble?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't think up no answers. It was most of the trouble, I think.
Well, that's too bad, Cedric. I'm awful sorrowful to hear that.
You ought to have studied up on different things before you taking the test, Cedric.
Well, I got some of the questions right. The first two I knowed good.
You did?
Yes, Mom.
What was them, Cedric?
One of them was, what's your name, and the other one's, how old are you?
Oh,
Got both of them right.
well, natural, Cedric. Anybody could get them. I could do that myself.
From there on, the questions got a lot harder, though.
Oh, well, I reckon that means that you won't get in the 6th grade then, don't it, Cedric?
No, Mom, I reckon I won't. Fact is, Professor Sloane said according to the score I made on the intelligence test, I was way ahead of where I belonged when I was in the 3rd grade even.
You there?
That's what he said.
Well, good for you for being ahead of your class, Cedric.
That ain't nothing to say good for you about, Abner. That was an insult.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cedric, didn't that reference letter that me and Lum wrote for you do you any good at all?
Abner, don't ask him about no letter.
I want to find out, Lum.
Did you say something about that letter, Mr. Abner?
Yeah, I say, did that letter do you any good at all?
Oh, Professor Sloane said that was the worst thing he'd ever saw in his whole life.
Uh-oh.
I told you not to ask him.
He said that was something a little 5-year-old young'un would do.
5-year-old young'un?
That's just what he said.
Well, I do know. What else did he say, Cedric?
Abner, hush up.
He said, who wrote that awful stuff? And I said, Mr. Lum done it.
Well,
Oh, my goodness. What'd you have to tell him that for, Cedric?
And then he said he was surprised that a president of a school board would turn out something like that. He said it was a disgrace.
I knowed it. Now, I just got to leave town. I'm going over to the place and pack right this very minute.
Well, wait, Mr. Lum. Before you go, I want to get you to write me another reference letter.
another? Don't you think the first one got you in enough trouble, Cedric? What was on the back of it?
Well, I believe I still could get in the 6th grade if you'd write one he could read.
One he could read?
Yes, Mom. He said it was wrote so bad he couldn't read a word of it.
He couldn't?
Not on either side of it?
No, Mom.
Granny's put her there, Abner. I'll never say another word again your handwriting as long as I live.